What is going on, everybody? I was not expecting that. That was an abrupt. I'm just over here jamming out, sending links out, and doing my thing, and it just was like, we're done. Anywho, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Glick's House of Music, part of the Nonsensical Network. Obviously, I put the Glick in Glick's House of Music. What's going on? I know it's not Tuesday. It is Thursday. Welcome, welcome. If you're not already, go ahead and check out the rest of the network. We are literally everywhere, y'all. Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok for the time being. Is it going to go away? Is it not going to go away? We have no idea at the end of the day. But we're there until we find out either way. Shows are live Monday through Sunday on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You guys can watch us live. Get in the Chatters box. Don't be shy. The Chatters box is always open. Great shows. Like Monday, we kick off with Speedway Stories and Cold-Blooded Conversations, followed by Men Caring for Men, Men's Mental Health Show on Monday night. Tuesday nights, typically Glick's House of Music. Wednesday nights, What the Fuck News, if it's in the news and it makes you say, what the fuck, we're talking about it. Thursday is Jeff's Garage. If it fits in the garage, they're going to talk about it. Fridays is Nonsense and Chill. Blaze and Jeff are watching movies and hanging out, and you can hang out with them as well. Saturdays is the main event. It is nonsensical nonsense. It's unhinged. It's unapologetic. We do whatever the hell we want. Why? Because we can. And we have an open door challenge. We drop that link in the Chatters box. We challenge you guys to hit that link and come up and hang out with us if you're brave enough. And then we wrap the week up with Unnecessary Roughness. It is your kickoff to the NFL. We're making our picks. We're making our predictions, and we're talking a lot of shit. Check us out. You're going to find something you like. And you can also listen to us anytime wherever you listen to podcasts at. All at the Nonsensical Network, or simply go to bio.link/Nonsensical Network. All them links is there. All you got to do is click them, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share, and don't forget to check out our merch store. We got merchandise, y'all, and more to come as soon as we get past the holidays. We're going to reset on January 1st, and we'll get some more merch out there and all that fun jazz. And I think that's all I got to say for now. But anyways, welcome to Glick's House of Music. We got a kick-ass guest in the building tonight. I'm breaking 2 rules. I already told him. He's English, and he's in Canada. That goes against everything I believe in. But we'll make an exception. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna screw it up. But we're gonna do our best. We got from Holy Oath and other projects that I just learned about him. We're gonna talk about that. Johan. Now, I can't say it as good as him because he's got the accent. What's going on, brother? Welcome.
Not much, man. Thank you for having me. It's really nice to see you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your evening. I know you're a working guy. We had to adjust some scheduling, but that's all right. I don't mind. I can be flexible because at the end of the day, you guys are doing me a huge favor coming up here on my show. So try to be flexible.
It's good to stroke my ego. It's all good.
Why do you think I host so many podcasts?
Yeah. I mean, I've done one myself, actually. Yeah, they're good for that.
Nice. Yeah, they really are. I mean, I got a great supporting cast of guys that try to keep me humble, but they knock me down a couple pegs, and then I go and buy myself a custom championship belt just to prove that I'm the greatest of all time.
That's great. Where do you even get where do you get a custom belt made?
There's a website, and we are not affiliated with them, and they are not paying me. It's called Trophy Smack, TrophySmack.com. Okay. They'll make custom trophies for like fantasy football league, custom championship rings, and they also do belts.
That's quick. My creative wheels are spinning because like. Anytime one of my friends insults me from now on, I'm just going to get them a giant belt made that's as big as idiot.
Yeah, right there, man.
That's awesome.
A full-size belt.
Yeah.
8 pounds,
a trophy with something that they've done wrong on it. It's just like, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. You're a jackass. No, but yeah, shout out. Trophy Smack's an awesome website. And the first belt they sent me, had some issues with it, and I reached out to customer support and was like, hey man, I've only had this belt like a month and this, that, and the other thing's going on. And they're like, well, send us a couple pictures. And I sent them one. Within a day, they're like, no problem. We'll pull your order up. We're going to send you a new one out. And I said, do I need to send this one back? They're like, nah, you're good. I was like, oh, cool. So I'll go with 2 belts for the price of 1.
That's great.
Yeah. So I'm gonna the second one I'm gonna customize myself. I got to find the time and
yeah, you got to wear it out like wear it out to like a 5-star restaurant or something.
My fiance might strangle me.
Yeah.
We've done the show live at a couple our Saturday night show. We've done it live a couple locations. And I took the belt with me and put it up on the table where we were at. Some people thought it was pretty cool. You know, it was definitely a conversation starter. Other people just looked at us and looked at me and thought I was a child, but they're not wrong. I am a giant man child. So there is that.
My bassist just said, "Please don't send me the biggest idiot trophy." That's really funny. He's probably the smartest one in the whole thing, actually. So that's pretty funny. Him and his friend Sergey are actually the guys responsible for the last music video we did. It's just amazing. It's like over the top amazing, like too much for it's like just me. It's little old me. It's like it's so cinematic. I really love that thing. So they do a great job.
I'm digging the video, man. I like the video for Haunt as well. You know, it's like I'm a big horror movie fan, and I love the found footage genre, and that's kind of what it reminded me of.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it got that across. Like, I think it didn't do so well in the like algorithms. I don't know how those work at all, but like significantly less views than the other two, and I think it's mostly because it looks like pixelated, but that was on purpose. Like it's supposed to look like exactly. So I'm glad that you got it. That's good. Hopefully the other people who watched it did too. That was my other friend, Ben Clatton, and his wife Parrish, and like they did a great job on that too. I really like to just like the main reason to do stuff is just to get really cool people you already know to help with it, right? I can't do everything, and like I know all these people, they deserve too much as well. So like I need to. Anytime I can, I try and collaborate with people. Like I like that.
Yeah, no, that's hey man, that's a lesson I learned the hard way a few months back. I almost crashed and burned on this podcasting thing, and I had to finally reach out to the guys and be like, I can't do it all on my own. And then they're like, hey, we got you, buddy.
Nice.
But
no,
it was a super cool video. You know, again, I guess it hit right with me because I'm a fan of that genre of horror movie, and I'm like, this is cool. I like it. It's raw. It's gritty. Nice. It's just kind of like, we don't have a big monster budget, but we're gonna still try to do something really cool here. And I thought it was.
Yeah. Story of my life, actually. Yeah, it's like anytime, like I've always tried to do what I can with what I have, and it's to varying degrees of success, but you know, it's always fun because you can always look back on that when you're older and be like, that was fun, that was good.
Yeah,
it's fun.
As long as you're having fun at the end of the day, that's all that matters, man.
It really is. Yeah, that's kind of I think when I was younger, I chased more like hoping other people viewed it, but like if you like it yourself, I think that's what really comes across with stuff. So if it's honest, right? So
I think that's the biggest thing, and it's something that we've talked about a lot on here. You know, our live shows might not get a lot of views. We get more replays than live views, but you know, we enjoy the live for the people that do come to watch and have that chat. But we also, you know, as I've always told the guys, I said the moment we stop having fun is the moment we stop. We just end everything. You know, at the end of the day. You know,
it sounds like something people regurgitate a lot, but I think it's one of those things that's regurgitated a lot for a good reason. Like but it's so ad nauseum that people say it that it's almost just more like an empty mantra. Like you just say it, but you don't believe it. You really, eventually, you do start to feel it. If you're actually doing that, you get what that is, and then you do actually start to reap some success from it if you truly are doing something because you love it, and there's nothing really. You know, I don't know. I think the best things have come from that. You know, there's so much stuff that you can look to in any sort of avenue of passion where that's kind of led to great human feats, right? Like it's the one that comes to my mind is like the guy who the ancient city of Troy, like that was like myth forever. But then the guy who was so passionate about trying to find it that he just went out there. I don't even think he had like the professions to like do that or any money behind him, but he's the one who found it. And, you know, now we know Troy was a real place. It's super cool stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, as long as you stay real, I tell you know that's something we can. Who you see here on these shows are the same exact people you're going to get in real life. This is not a gimmick. I'm a big dumb animal. I'm a big Sasquatch. Like you know.
Is your shirt the spirit animal Sasquatch? Is that what Bigfoot is my? That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Hey, what up, Jason?
You believe in Sasquatch?
I mean, you're talking to one, so why not believe in it?
Oh, true. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I'm real big into cryptids, cryptozoology or whatever you want to call it. So like Bigfoot and Nessie, the Loch Ness monster, and you know stuff like that. I mean, I've never seen them, but I mean, I've also never seen aliens. But you know, who's to say that in this massive universe that we live in, that there's not other life forms? You know,
all those drones now. You know, well, who knows what that is?
The aliens are taking a second look, going, "Yep. It's really that bad down here. We're going to go ahead and move on."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you know, ultimately that's the most important thing is just being true to yourself and being real and not being a fraud like some people like to do and put on a front and put on a show. But you seem, and I just learned this. I mean, obviously I came across your guys' music. I don't know if you guys boosted it or if it was just in my algorithm, because my algorithm on Instagram is a lot of music and random podcasting stuff and whatnot for the Raven Black video. And I was
I did boost that one. Yeah. It's funny when you boost things, you usually get like extremely negative comments for the first like few hours, and then eventually.
I bet.
Yeah, it's really funny, but like, because again, like we just said, if you like it, I don't really care. That's fine. If you don't like it, that's just kind of funny. You get it with everything. I've been making art and putting it out there since I was like 14, probably. So you know, it hurt for a while, and then you're just like, all right, yeah. Most people are bored after work, annoyed probably, and they just kind of want to on something, and you've clearly just put money towards this to get it out there. That's the easiest thing to make fun of. I totally get it. It's really funny.
Yeah. I've never boosted a post. I've thought about it. I mean, you've done it. Is it worth it? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I can take the juvenile hate, but
yeah, if you don't mind that, it's totally worth it. Because like for every 10 people who are going to be like, that's stupid as hell, there's going to be someone who's like, I kind of like this. And even the people commenting it's stupid as hell or whatever they say, right? Like it's good for the algorithm. Like it's good for all that stuff because people are interacting with it. They're digesting it. Even if they don't like it, it's like, good, tell me. That's fine, because now someone will argue with you.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of scrolling through and I didn't have my volume on, and I just caught the little snippet of the video, and I was like, "The hell is this? I want to know what's going on." You know what I mean? So I went to your guys' page, and then I went to YouTube, and it wasn't until I got to YouTube, because I'm focused. I want to find what this video is, what's going on, you know.
Good.
And then I get to the YouTube channel, and I'm like, "Oh shit, this is a band, cool." And I listened to the song, and I'll play it here later on tonight. And I was like, this is a cool fucking song. And
thanks, man.
A cool video. And like a little theatrical, little, you know, and I was like, hell yeah. I can get down with this. Let me see what else they got. And then it was like, all right, I gotta shoot these guys a message. I gotta get them on the show.
Well, we appreciate it. We're all stoked that you did. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of those things like that. That video was an idea I had with it. And yeah, the guy he's in the band now, Julian Hoffman. He's actually super, like, just amazing with music videos. Just like the stuff that he's done. He has a few YouTube channels as well. He did a lot of stuff back in the day that you might remember as well. And the way he, like, I would just say something that I'm picturing, and he like totally got what I was saying immediately.
Oh, nice.
It was so good. And like, we're both really huge fans of like Twin Peaks and like that sort of like old sort of thing.
Show.
So like we decided like that would be great for this song where you're kind of searching for this like ethereal woman sort of thing. Like that just fits the bill of like Lynchian cinema, right? So and like, excuse to dress up in cowboy hats is really funny. So of course you're gonna get like, Brokeback Mountain, of course the easiest one to go for. Like, oh man, we were making the same jokes when we were there. So
yeah, exactly. We've we've already done this. We've already said it. Like,
yeah,
but definitely got a Twin Peaks vibe. Great show from back in the day. But yeah, you got a couple other projects. What else are you got your hands in music wise?
So this project's probably the furthest from what I normally do, which is like metal type stuff. So I have a lot of like my main project that I've been doing since I was like 14, as I say, is with a guy called Alex Snape, and he's in quite a few different bands. He's in a band called Crimson Shadows. I don't know if you know them at all. He has his own projects, and just like beyond fantastic musician. So like I've always kind of felt like I need to learn to get up to that same sort of chops. And like even when we were in like middle school, I think the first time I went on stage with him, that was middle school, and he was like already great at instruments. So I was like, fuck, I gotta catch up here. So so me and him have had a band called Unbowed forever. Like we started that. It was like a folk metal project, if you know what that sort of genre is like.
Oh yeah.
So that was under a different name, but we've changed more to like sort of Dimmu Borgir type of tech death mixing. It's really hard to place, but that sort of thing is kind of our bread and butter. So it's funny trying to write music that doesn't just immediately go to like wow. So anytime I feel the inclination to do so, me and the rhythm guitarist of Unbowed, the same, he's my producer for Holy Oath, and me and him sit there and we really have to like struggle to not turn it into too much metal. Like it's like really trying to find a balance between the two. So, but yeah, I'd say my main thing is Unbowed. Then I have quite a few like black metal projects because it's always just been like a passion of mine. I really love that stuff. That fork that happens when you're in high school of like death metal or black metal. We certainly more into black metal. And so I have a few like that. There's a project called Hearsay that we have with a friend of ours in Finland. So we travel up there and we write that in a little cabin and try and seclude ourselves for at least a week or two. I really like that stuff because it just the stuff you're able to come out with when you're just alone with three other dudes in a cabin. Like it's just like there's no distractions. Like there's really nothing around there. So that's like a really important project to me as well. And then I don't know if you are familiar with like lots of dungeon synth. Do you know that genre at all?
Vaguely, I've caught here and there. I'm a newbie still, but
you know how you sell like there's like Lucky Charms, but then you can like if you really want to be like slobbish about it, you can just go buy the marshmallows.
Yeah.
Right. So kind of like that for black metal, where it's like all the keyboard interludes. If you just wanted a full album of that, so I do a few of those too. So
nice.
It's good because it's led to like I've done a few like sounds for people's like D&D projects and things like that. So like I play lots of Dark Souls. So there's one project with me and the guitarist of Holy Oath. Actually, we do this thing where it's all based off Dark Souls. So we just love making music, and it's very incestuous. We're all in each other's projects from here in Southern Ontario. We all know each other pretty well. It's good. I think it's a good, healthy sort of like yeasty environment for creating.
You got your core group. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And
exactly.
You guys know you work well together, and you can mesh and kind of bounce things off of each other. I mean, you can't beat that when you have that when you're in some form of entertainment. If you've got a solid community behind you. Yeah, man, you just got all kinds of stuff going on. I don't know how you keep it straight.
Some like friends like call it like iPad baby brain, like very ADHD a lot of the time with my shit. Like I really have to focus when I'm doing something. So I get distracted a bit easily. So I'm really trying to zone in on one or two things at a time in my adulthood.
Yeah, I know how that goes. That's full on ADHD, man. Squirrel, shiny object. I think that's why I so I think it's why I do so many different types of shows, because it's like, okay, I can get my music fix over here. I can get my sports fix here. I can kind of be crazy over here. I can be serious here.
Hell yeah.
So So we were talking backstage. You said in 2002 when I was a child. I gotta ask you, how old are you?
I'm 29. Just turned
Oh,
29.
holy Jesus! Yeah, you are a baby. I was gonna say in
That's really nice to
2002.
hear. I've been feeling I've been like, fuck my life. Like when you turn 29, it's like a cliff where you're like, but most people I work with in my day job, like work in museums. So like most of them are older than me. Um, well, yeah, well, most of the full-time staff are older than me. All the other ones are like way younger. They're like born in
Yeah.
2000 or 2002, some of them. I'm like, holy fuck, what the hell? But when you talk to the full-time staff, they're like, it's not like you're young. Shut the fuck up. But like, it's a hard one to get over. Yeah, it's like
no. I used to think like that, and then I hit my 40s, and I'm 43. Last week I misspoke and said I was 42. I'm 43.
You really,
but
you really don't look it though. To be honest with you, like I thought we were. I legitimately, I thought you were just like maybe like a few years older, but like,
yeah.
I'm not even like trying to fool you there like that.
You trying to butter me up, huh? What's going on?
I'm literally not. Like, I don't know if it's
you're already on the show.
Like if it's webcam quality, it's like it's doing something. But
no, I do appreciate that. I think I'm aging all right. But I used to think like that, man. I was like, oh God, I'm almost 30. I'm getting so old. Oh man, what am I gonna do with my life? And now I'm like I'm 43 now, and it's like, man, this is the new 20s. Like, like I'm not old. Like, like I got a lot of life left in me still. I'm sure I've pissed enough people off. I'll probably live to be like 120, 25 or something just to spite them. But but yeah, man, it's not that bad, I think it's just all mental, like a mental thing. You got to get past that mental block of like, yeah, I still got a lot of life to live. I'm in my prime, man. Like, I'm still able to go do things. I'm a dad, as you've seen before the show. I got 3 kids, and they're almost grown up. My son, I'll be just shy of 50 when my son turns 18. So I'm like, I can still go to rock concerts at 50, and I can still go do all the things that I want to do.
Yeah, getting drunk together is it's cool, right?
Yeah, like, right.
I remember the first time drinking with my dad is hilarious. Like he always used to divulge like little pieces of dad lore on me, but like he was like a huge like British like rock and like hippie sort of thing. So he was like he was like super into like Hawkwind and bands like that, and he's like flexing that he used to see them play live at like Stonehenge, and I was like, fuck's sakes, dude, that's like I'll never get it. When I went to Stonehenge, you have to stand like 20 yards away, and like you're mostly in a field of people trying to take pictures, so it's like this is not that great.
Yeah, this just rocks at the end of the day.
I love that stuff. It's I mean, it's crazy. Those rocks though, like they came from so far away. Like I don't. It's crazy how far those came from. Like it was like the Welsh shores.
Yeah, aliens, bro. Aliens, man.
Aliens, yeah.
They built the pyramids too.
Just unreal sort of math that goes on to that stuff. Yeah, I guess if you have the time.
Yeah, right. I mean, back then, I mean, what was going on? It's not like they had TV or the internet, or they're like, hey, I'm gonna put 3 rocks together somehow. Hold on, let me sit down and avoid the Black Plague and invading crusaders and whatnot, and do some math here, do some geometry, and let's see how we can make this happen. It's a cool design, considering how old it is. Like, it is one of those things that goes, how in the hell did they do that? Because obviously today you just get a crane and you set things up, and but
yeah,
ancient marvels, man. Ancient marvels. Fun. We were talking about that a little bit before the show. The architectural work out there, out in Europe and whatnot. It's amazing. It really is. And think about how old those countries are, and when like some of those castles and stuff like that were being built, it's just like you just living in the world we live in today. It's hard to imagine them being able to build a structure like that without the equipment and the heavy machinery and everything like that.
Yeah, one thing that I've been like looking at lately, like like the coolest shit's usually built at a certain time of all civilizations, and then like as you get sort of lazier, that's when it starts deteriorating. And like if you watch shows like Ancient Aliens, that's usually like when people are like, oh, that's when the aliens left. It's like, well, it could just be that we just get lazy too, though. Like you get to a certain time and you're like, well, we're good. We're like eating, everyone's fine. I think people just kind of slow down. And it's the same with our architecture, right? Like we were talking before the show, like if you look at like old city halls, they look great, right? But then now it's like, well, let's just kind of make like a big other building. Like I think it's less to do with cool shit and more to do with like boring shit. Probably it's like logistics, right? It's just like, well, let's just make out of this. We might get rid of it soon. So yeah,
exactly. Well, you look at some of these houses, and America's a baby country. We're only 300-400 years old, but you look at some of these houses, and I used to live down in Charleston, South Carolina, and a lot of the old houses down there on the downtown on the Battery and stuff like that, and these houses have withstood earthquakes and fires and war and earthquake or hurricanes that smash right into them. And now you look, I call the houses today, they're matchsticks. They're just like built with, a stiff breeze comes through and you lose half your house. People built stuff to last back in the day, where today it's more about mass production and making a quick dollar, and it's just like, it's kind of sad because, even here in my little town that I live in, it's about 200 years, a little over 200 years old, and we've got some older houses, absolutely gorgeous. But then on the same block, you've got newer houses, and it's just like, it's kind of lazy built. And I'm a construction guy by trade. Like I've built houses, and I've actually walked off of jobs because the quality of the build. And I'm just like, I don't want my name on this. I'm good.
I did some renovations in like university, and then after that I got into blacksmithing. So I was in like a living history sort of situation.
Nice.
Like nothing like the American ones like you guys have, where it's like I'm the blacksmith, but it's more like third person sort of thing, where it's just like, oh, this is what they would be doing. I don't live here, no, like things like that. And then after that, I got into more like actually installing the galleries and stuff, so putting things up in museum spaces. So similar sort of work. But yeah, some of the stuff they build now, compared to old shit, it's a drop off, and it's always something to do with like, you got lawyers, you got finance people being like, this is too much money. Stone costs a lot, and like stonemasonry, that's like the main thing, right? Like that's what we consider beautiful to our eye, because we don't really make that anymore. Whereas I wonder if they actually thought it was beautiful when they were making it, or if they probably did to some degree, but like, it's all a logistical thing. And then our societies, as you become more Protestant too, right? Like that's a thing, like Catholicism, that's about like decking things out. Whereas Protestant culture is more like, okay, the church is this woodshed. That's simple.
It's a place to gather.
We probably carry a lot of that sentiment over more than we think in our subconscious too, right? Like it's like, okay, well, let's not go overboard here. It's like definitely something that's entered corporate America or North America. It's like, or if they do go extravagant, I find it's like in like a really postmodern sort of ugly, barfy glass window sort of way. Like I don't really love that stuff much, but maybe I will when it's like, maybe people in the future will love that the way we do. But like, I don't know, myself personally.
A hard pass for me. But I'm also still that I have that, with the architectural and the designs, and I love that stuff. So in my head, I'm like, I want to build that, and it would be so much easier to build today than what it was 800 years ago or 1,000 years ago, or whatever.
For sure. Yeah. Like I was living in York in England for a brief moment there, and a lot of that church, like you look at it and you go, wow, an old church, but like a lot of the outside of it is constantly being rebuilt, kind of like cells in a human body. Like the way we look after that, like a lot of the old gargoyles are not old. Like there's some student who knows how to do the old traditional way, and they're doing it probably better, to be honest with you. Like, we only get better at things. So, yeah.
I will say, one of the cool things about, and I'll say for the states that I've visited and whatnot, or lived in and whatever. One of the cool things here is a lot of states, once a house is on the historical registry,
Right.
excuse me, anything on the exterior has to be as close to the original as possible. If you do like a
Right.
refit or a remodel or something like that. And then like when I lived down in Charleston, you could modernize the kitchen and bathroom. You basically do whatever you wanted in the kitchens and bathrooms.
Okay. Yeah.
The rest of the houses had to stay as true to the original as possible. Like
Yeah.
and especially the exterior. So like certain colors that they use on houses, they would have to order special paint to match it precisely. A lot of guys I was, talked to a lot of contractors and stuff down there. The brick that used to be on like the foundation, what they would do is get underneath the house and pull the original stone or brick out and replace it with new, so they could use that original block or stone or whatever out on the front. So it still because that's what they had
Cool.
to do per
Yeah.
for the historical registry and their guidelines and their rules, which I thought was a really cool concept. Because I mean, well, it's a lot more expensive for the homeowner. However, if you can afford to buy one of these houses in downtown Charleston,
Yeah,
you're not hurting. You're not hurting for money. I worked for a pest control company down there, and I had a customer who bought one of those houses. He spent $8.5 million on it to buy it.
Man. The Jesus
and then he spent another almost $7 million on a complete remodel.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, you're fine.
Night, love you.
Yeah.
Night, love you. You're like, yeah.
It's similar stuff down here, like or up here rather. I don't know the exact laws on most of it, but a friend of mine that I actually used to work with blacksmithing, his wife deals with that stuff. So like you call up like a certain wing of the government or an agency, and they kind of tell you the laws on your house. If you own a historical building, like what you can and can't do to it, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really big in England too. Like again, there was a place in York apparently that this new company from outside of England, like they purchased this building and then decided they were just going to destroy it. But the building was like from the 1700s, and so the council actually made them build it again exactly how it was, brick by brick, just because it was you can't do that. Yeah, so it's there's a few things like that in Canada too, but like for the most part, I'm not sure if it's the same or different to the States. I guess it depends on the state too, right? So
I think so, because I know like here where I live, this is where I was born and raised pretty much. It's not as strict, but also, Charleston is one of those cities in American history that holds a lot of history, first shot of the Civil Wars was Fort Sumter down in Charleston.
Right.
During the Revolutionary War, Charleston was a hot spot. It was one of those areas that a lot of English and whatnot had came over. A lot of the settlers or whatever you want to call them, they had come over and whatnot. And then, slavery and the Civil War and everything else, they were the first state to succeed from the Union, type deal. So, so they're a little bit stricter on what they have a French Quarter down there, and the rules for the building, from the street all the way to your roof is insane. And the buildings, they got some really beautiful hotels down there. But here it's they're not as strict, but again, it's Ohio. It's
right.
Like, we got some historical relevance here, obviously with like presidents being from Ohio and whatnot. But Underground Railroad runs through a good chunk, right? It runs smack right through middle of Ohio, and actually part of it runs through my town that I live in. So they're a little bit more lenient on what you can and can't do. So I think it's state to state, and depending upon the area as well, might even be city to city. I'm sure Boston We all know Boston. We all know their historical revel. I'm sure they got some rigged ass rules in Boston, but again,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
very, very, stupid people. Beautiful city.
I've never been to Boston, so but like super Irish, right? What's
Yeah, a lot of Irish. Yeah,
yeah.
you just drive through. Just drive through. That's all you need to do. Just drive through. Get a look at the city. Don't talk to anybody. They're all pricks.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
They're all pricks up there. They all think they're better than everybody.
Actually, with Holy Oath, for like one of the first shows we were entertaining, going to New York for there was a girl out there who was a promoter. She was saying that people would like us out there, so we might actually go take a states visit soon. But yeah,
I think there would be a lot of states that you guys could visit that would enjoy, what you guys do. You got that heavy metal rock,
yeah,
but you also got some like got a little bit of a ballad sound to it. We'll get back. Let's get on to your music. That's one of the things that I told you backstage. This shows whatever happens. We let the conversation go.
oh, it's all good, man. Yeah, that's how I work too.
But I told you backstage, your singing voice. I expected you to sound a lot different, and I also didn't know that you were English either. So I definitely wasn't expecting that when you came in. It was like, oh Jesus, Harry Potter's here.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm from the north, so we don't even sound posh up there. It's just like it's the dirtiest fucking accents. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how close you are and from where Ozzy and Sharon are, but oh my God.
I think they were Birmingham. I think they were Brummies, as you call it. So like if you've seen Peaky Blinders, that's like
okay.
I think that's from
That accent on Sharon Osbourne, God, I want to throw a brick at her face every time she talks. I can't do it.
Born Marston Green. Where's that? That's Birkenhill, West Midlands. Okay. Yeah, pretty close to Birmingham. Yeah, I thought it is like just from their accent. Yeah,
it's like that. It's
big industrial.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, it's kind of like you know who Fran Drescher is, the actress.
Which one?
Fran Drescher.
No, I don't think I know. No.
She's got that real thick New York, like a New York Jewish accent.
Right.
It's like the Italian New York accent's kind of cool, kind of tough guy, and then you have like the it's just real high pitched, real. Oh, it's like nails on a chalkboard, man. It's just,
oh shit. Yeah.
I can't. Just look up like in your free time. Look up like a clip of The Nanny. Is an old TV show from the '90s here in the States, and you'll get what I'm saying. It's oh my God, it's funny how accents can drive people crazy.
Yeah, I feel like the more you are around it, if you don't sound like that, people tend to say psychologically you get really sick of the accent if you're not from there. I don't remember it because when I was so young when I moved here, right? So like I feel like I remember my parents saying it was getting on their nerves after a while, just everyone sounding so Canadian and like Canadian sentiments are different to British. Like British people are a bit more like, they'll just tell you what they're thinking, but Canadians
a little bit.
They're a bit more passive aggressive with how they tell you things.
Yeah.
Like when you get immersed in a different thing, it is weird. Like even when I go back to England, I'm like, oh yeah, like I feel like they all talk more like how me and my friends talk to each other. They're okay
a little arrogant. The British have that kind of, and I'm sure they're not, doing it intentionally, but a little arrogant, a little proper.
Well, that's like a certain type. Like, yeah, that's definitely more of like a southern.
There's a lot of accents, though.
Yeah, there's different types of people. Like I'm from the north, they're definitely not like that. They really hate those types of people, like the proper sort of sounding people. They don't really. Yeah. They call them like, they get mad at them more than anyone else. Honestly, like they kind of think of it as two different countries. Like it's like, yeah.
Yeah, we get that we get some of that down here in the States.
For
Like the
sure.
South
Yeah.
still think the people in the South still think like they live in a whole other country. Some people it's just like we're 6 hours away from each other. You're not you're not that far, but yeah, you get like the New York accent, the Boston accent's just gross. Um, I can't deal with the Boston accent for some reason. It drives me crazy. But that is funny. Like me being from Ohio. People will be like, "Oh, Ohioans have accents." No, we don't have accents. It's what you're trying to say is we talk different, and we do talk different here. We say silly shit like "you're regardless," or we say OPE. We say that all the time. Nobody knows what it means. We just say it. Oh, yeah, OPE.
Oh, is that like kind of like when would you use that? Like you mean like you'd be like, oh,
yeah, but you could use it almost with you could use it with almost anything like forgot to do that, or gotta go yeah,
that's very
gotta go grab some beer.
That's a Canadian shit that too. I say
don't accuse
I
us.
do. Yeah.
Don't accuse us of being Canadians.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's so close, right? Like, yeah, it's like
it really is. I mean, you could go up north of me, up to Lake Erie, and it's like you could spit and hit Canada from Lake Erie.
yeah,
for the most part.
like whenever we've toured with bands, like a few times from like Wisconsin, like they're basically Canadians. Yeah,
Wisconsin, Minnesota, the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Yeah.
And all them like North Dakota and all them states that are like right on they're all Canadian. We don't claim them. Yeah. They're all Canadian.
So. Don't claim that. Vermont, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certain parts, northern New York. Yeah, that's basically Canada, at the end of the day. But I mean that makes it cool. I mean, that's got to make it cool for you guys being a band to basically be a hop, skip, and a jump away from the States if you guys get the opportunity to tour.
Yeah, it's funny. I've never actually done it. I've never actually toured the States. I've been to the States like selling things like for like blacksmithing and stuff. But for music, I think it's a different sort of like visa you'd have to get. It's something I need to look into because it's a bit different to just traveling. Like they are pretty stingy with that sort of thing. Like they want to make sure like you're doing it in the correct way. So when we do go, we're going to have to look into all of that. My bandmate, Steve, the guy who produces all the music, he's actually been through the States quite a few times with other bands that he plays with. As I say, we're in so many different bands. So it's like, he's done quite a lot of stuff. He's in a band called Invicta. I think they've toured there before.
I think I've heard of them.
Invicta? Yeah, it's thrash metal. It's good. It's good stuff.
Is it an I or an E at the beginning?
I.
I might be an idiot.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, they all sound, after a while, right? You kind of.
Yeah. I have seen them. I think I've seen them on Instagram. Right on. I said I might be an idiot because there's a watch brand that I actually really like, and it's Invicta.
Right.
That was the first thing that came up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm stupid." And then I just had to scroll a little bit. Yeah, I have seen them. I have heard their stuff before. So yeah, okay, I know who that is.
Yeah, really good. Worth checking out. Really cool stuff. Yeah. They're from Kitchener, so it's the town over from where we're from, which is called like Guelph. That's where we grew up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So basically, just like Greater Toronto area is what that is. It's like
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that again, man. That goes back to and you get that a lot in the States too, especially like Nashville, Austin, Texas, some areas of Florida where music is big and stuff like that. Even here in my little neck of the woods, we got a decent music scene. Very incestuous. A lot of people working together. A lot of different. You get a band that's comprised of 6 dudes that all have 3 other bands that they're a part of, and then they all work together, or I had a friend of mine years back. He was in a band and they did a little thing, like a little tour around Ohio one summer. But it was 4 bands, and all 4 bands, they were all intertwined. They all played together. So
yeah, it's funny. Yeah, we've done stuff like that. Yeah,
like the singer of one band might be the drummer of another band, or
yeah,
or whatever the case may be, which was cool because if you're a fan of one, you're more than likely going to be a fan of all of them. So
yeah. It's a lore. You get a deep lore going with people. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, for you, music wise, is that something that you've always? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna
Yeah.
get to that in a few minutes. I want to ask
Sure.
you about the blacksmithing.
No
Are
worries. Yeah.
you like actually making stuff? Like or like?
Yeah. For the most part, like I started out, so I learned from a family friend who was a farrier. So he did like horseshoeing and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And so I just decided like I wanted to go around, and his son had actually made like a coal forge in their yard because they were a bit more
Nice.
rural. So I learned from him, and then through that and being in a history degree, I was able to get a job doing it in like a similar sort of situation. At that job, it's a village that was set in like 1914. So
Oh, wow.
I couldn't be making anything I really wanted to make. So like I was really into like Viking shit. Obviously, that was mostly what I went to school for. So I wanted to be making pendants and stuff like that. So I'd make them on the sly sort of thing, and then like eventually got my own forge going with 2 other guys. One guy being the son of the guy who taught us, and we were selling quite a lot of stuff on Etsy for a long time. I don't know if you know a band or an artist called Chelsea Wolf, but she actually bought like a belt from me and this other girl called Anna, who has a thing called Nui Clothing. So we collaborated together, and then that was on like the cover of Decibel magazine. So we were like, "That's sick. That's so cool." Because we just thought we were fucking around and like having fun. So once again, that's the best way to do things, right? So yeah. So for the most part, what I'd say I'm best at for blacksmithing is like making jewelry. Like I make like pendants and things like that.
Yeah.
I have made swords and like daggers and stuff like that. Axes mostly. But like haven't for a long time. Like if you were to get me to do it right now, I'd probably be best at like little things like pendants and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. No, that's that. I can't. I don't do it. I can't do it. But I love to watch other people do it. Actually, almost 6 years ago, at the Ren Fair.
Oh
I don't know how well you can see that.
Mjolnir ring. Nice.
Yeah, I went in and I had this made, my Mjolnir around my neck, which this sumbitch is heavy as hell. It was a blacksmith. He made it by hand.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. He's good.
I kind of gave him a couple ideas of what I was looking for with it, and he was like, come back next week and I'll have it done. He actually had to hand make the necklace for it because the pendant's so heavy. Mm-hmm. It's all hand braided on the chain. And when I went to pick up my necklace, he was like, I made you a little something else. I'll throw in no charge. And he had made the ring for me as well.
Cool.
And I freaking love them.
Do you know what the material? What was the material he used?
I do not know what the material is, unfortunately.
Interesting, because that's like very good detail on that. Like it's silversmithing almost. You call it whitesmith.
He's been doing it he was an older guy. He's been doing it for years. So I was like, I came up and he was like, hey man, I had to hand make a chain and braid it. He hand braided it because the pendant turned out to be really heavy. I was like, I don't care what, and he showed me the pendant and I was like, that's awesome. I've had it, nice. Like I said, about 6 years or so now. I freaking love it. I'm always been fascinated by forging and blacksmithing and whatnot. There's a show here that I watch. It's called Forged in Fire, and they basically make just knives and stuff like that. Man, I'll fall into that rabbit hole and I'll lose a whole damn day. It'll be a Saturday, and I'm like, I got things to do. I'm gonna go do this, and that. Let me sit down and grab me some breakfast. I'm gonna watch an episode, and then next thing I know, it's 7:00, and I've got to do the Saturday show, and I'm like, well, hell.
Yeah, no, you can. It's very like meditative to watch. It's like a very meditative thing to watch happen because he's just turning something raw into. It's really cool. Yeah, I like doing it. It's very calming to do. It's even doing it like you can spend a whole day and it just doesn't feel like 8 hours, but it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good shit.
No,
I like
it. It will 100%. I would love to. I think I would have to have the room, and when we upgrade out of the townhouse we're in, I want to aim for a wood shop because I'm a wood guy. Like when I was younger, I learned to do build stuff, tables, dressers, chairs, stuff like it. And I would like to do that again. I just don't have the room or the space or the tools or anything else.
For sure. Yeah, I get that. It does take a while to accumulate it and then the space for it. Yeah.
I've also often I bet I could do forging that I've never done it before, but I bet I could do that.
You could. You definitely could. It's just you'd be bad at it for a while, but if you stick to it, it's fine. That's just kind of with everything, right? But I always say it kind of changed my mentality on a lot of stuff, blacksmithing, just because it was you're really shit at it for a long time, and it hurts if you fuck up and hold it by accident. Yeah. So I've got a ton of scars from it as well. But once you finally make something that looks cool, then your whole brain chemistry kind of changes. It's like, that makes complete sense. It's like the exact thing. It's like, steel just doesn't lie to you. It's the same thing. Yeah. You've either hit it properly or you haven't. That's it. And then
right. Yeah. You either do it right or you don't. Yeah. No, I think one of the, I think, like you said, you found an interest with the farrier back in the day. And we growing up back home, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Podunk, Ohio. And there was an old farmer that he made his own horseshoes for his horses and stuff like that.
Right.
And, he was one of those older guys that you go down and you had stories from back in the day. And, you just get lost in conversation with him while he was making horseshoes. And it was just, I think it started back then. This is really cool.
Yeah.
But sports and jobs and girls and other things I should have pursued that instead of freaking girls. Probably would have got a lot farther in life. Shout out James. What up, James Luker? What up, buddy? How you doing, man? I want to take a real quick break, and I do want to talk a little bit about music, and whatnot. Like I said, I go with the flow of the conversation. That's kind of what this whole show is about. Is getting to know you guys. We want to get to know a little bit about your music and your music journey, but I don't want to be that same stereotypical, boring interviewer. But there are questions you want to ask, but I also just like going with the flow of the conversation because we get to see you guys, as people and not just musicians.
No, it's way better like that. Yeah.
I would take another break here.
Sure.
Downloaded a couple of your guys' songs tonight. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and do this one because we were talking about it. Raven Black. We were talking about it earlier. Super cool fucking video. The song is badass, man. And like I said, you guys have heard him talking all night, and you might have been listening at the beginning, and his speaking voice and his singing voice are totally different, man. And I'm digging it. I think that was one of the things that outside of the video, once I heard your voice, it was like, ooh, you have a sound that I like, that I gravitate to musically, whether it's a rock musician or a country musician. You got that kind of deep, raspy, gravelly kind of voice. So we were talking about it earlier. Here's Raven Black from Holy Oath. This is their video. We'll be back here in just a few minutes and continue the conversation.
Sounds good.
Black feathers falling down on me from unraveling fates that I can hardly keep. And as I walk those pathways home, I see the faces of all your ghosts, broken vessels and scattered souls leading back
All right.
And now the sheriff's missing. What the hell's going on?
He's back.
What's going on in Brokeback Canada?
I know. Yeah. Where'd he go?
Yeah, that is a really cool video and a cool song. Like I said, it's like the whole song is just kind of a slow burn, you know.
Yeah,
it's very it's catchy. It's easy on the ears, you know.
Yeah, it's a little less metally, right? It's
yeah, but hey, like I said, I told you backstage. What's going on, Nap? Welcome. I told you backstage. You asked me what type of music I like. I'm a music slut. You know, I literally listen to everything, man. It's not so much the genre. You know, I guess if you had to lock me in, I'm more of like a country rock guy.
cool.
But I listen to everything, man. I'm not a snob. If something's good and I like something, you know, whether it be a particular band or, you know, I'm going to listen to it. And, you know, and then from that band, I might get turned on to other bands that are similar to them. And then I have a buddy of mine who does like EDM music. I've never liked EDM music.
Oh yeah.
But him and I are super close. We're basically brothers. We're basically family. And from his style of music, of course, he does a little bit of everything. I've developed a little bit of a liking of EDM, and there's some of it that I'm like, I can't help myself. I don't know what's happening to my body. What's going on?
I don't mind it. I really like some of that stuff. It's all right. Yeah, if you like country and rock type stuff, do you know the Ohio band Bill Murray? You ever heard of them?
Yes. I have not listened to them in a hot minute, but yes, I have heard them.
Their newer stuff, their new albums, like full on like country metal. It's pretty good. I don't mind it.
Yeah, man, I haven't. Wow, I totally forgot about them. I'm not even gonna lie.
By that description, it sounds terrible, but it's really good. It's like, I really like that stuff.
But there's a lot of bands that got that country rock vibe. A band that I stumbled on years ago, well, close to a decade ago, maybe a little more than that. Blacktop Mojo. They're based out of Texas.
I don't think I know them.
And they've got some stuff that's like real heavy. And then they got slower stuff, and they got the country vibe, they got the blues vibe. They just kind of mix it, you know, Southern rock. They just kind of mix it all in there, and they come out with their sound. And they're probably and these are guys that I just happened to be listening to a YouTube playlist, and they were a similar artist, and it was a cover of them doing a cover of Aerosmith, "Dream On."
Oh, right on. Yeah.
And I was like, who the fuck are these guys? And then the very next video I see, as I go to look them up, they were doing a cover of In the Air Tonight. And it was just lead singer and his bass player. It was an acoustic thing. They were in this distillery in this big barn. And it was like, oh fuck, I gotta listen to everything from these guys. And I've been a fan ever since. But nonetheless, welcome back to Glick's House of Music. I'm Glick, obviously, hanging out with John. We're just gonna do that because that's easier. Johan, you got the accent. It sounds Johan. Yeah, you got the accent. I just sound like a dipshit American when I say it. Johan.
It's a hard one. I never judge when people don't get it. It's all good.
Yeah, you know what? At least I attempted. I have no problems. From Holy Oath, from Holy Oath and various other side projects. You guys, if you're following us on Instagram, I got them tagged. I got both of his accounts tagged, so you guys can go give him a follow. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, why don't you let everybody know where they can find you guys at?
Yeah, sure. So we have our Instagram's Holy Oath Official, and then I think on YouTube it's just Holy Oath. That's our main place. For my other band, it's Official Unbowed on YouTube, and then on Instagram it's Unbowed Official, I think. So if you like the more sort of like power metal type of stuff, I have another project called Anahata, or Soul Anahata, and that's very more like myth and history type stuff, very folk metal-y, very power metal-y, with a guy called Kyle. that I'm friends with out on the west coast of Canada, and he's super great at music as well. I always try and like involve myself with people who I consider better than me, just so I can constantly grow. That seems like the best way to, get proficient at stuff. But more than that, like, I think it's important to make music or art with people who are just really cool people. And it just so happens that the people I find really cool, I also think are quite better at things than I. So it's better to just and be friends with cool people, right? So yeah, he's no different, Kyle. Yeah. So Soul Anahata on Instagram for that one. You might like that. The vocals are cleaner vocals, like the stuff I do with Holy Oath, but way more like wah, like all the higher all that stuff. If you can tolerate it, yeah.
Hell yeah. That I will be checking out the other bands. Like I said, I literally just found out about the other bands just a little bit before we went on, and I'm definitely going to be checking them out. I want to see. I'm curious to see what other projects you got going on and what other sounds you got going on. I think at the end of the day, my curiosity, it always gets the best of me. Sometimes for the good, most of the time for the bad. And I'm actually going to. I think I got them. Hopefully, I spelled them all right. I don't know, but there you guys go.
Who cut out? I think I.
Uh-oh.
Are we there?
That might be me. Okay, are we back?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was me or not. Then let me see.
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been me. Hell, who knows? All right, let's throw this up there. Maybe there we go. Yeah, there you go. There's the projects. There's the bands.
Nice. Yeah, you're on it more than me. There you go. There you go.
So I got to ask you. I do want to talk a little bit about your music and everything like that. I got to ask you. When did you, obviously it goes back to when you were a kid. You talked about being in middle school and 14 and whatnot. But when was it that you knew, like, this is what I want to do? Like, I want to be a musician. I want to be a singer. I want to,
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think more than anything, I've always just wanted to express myself. And I think the first way that comes to me naturally is through I guess I would say more like I'm more poetic. So for me, the music came like a fries to the burger, but like I'm more like I write, like I'm a writer. So for example, this whole project, Holy Oath, is based off a book I'm writing. So all of the stuff in that and all of the sort of little bits of lore I kind of sprinkle into it, like the music videos, all of that will have to do with the book ideas. And, if I was cleverer about that marketing wise, that would be more known, but I don't worry about it. It's like, I think people will get it if they want to. And like, it really makes me happy when, I don't know you at all. And you get the ideas of like the horror type of thing, that's a,
yeah.
So for me, I think I knew almost right away, like just as a kid, like I've always just been creative. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm not like the most proficient with like organization, but creatively, I know I can contribute to society in some sort of way and maybe inspire someone with my raw ideas. And so people like me, dipshits, they kind of need other people around them. I know some truly beautiful souls that are so fucking good with, people like Julian, who are great with music videos, people like my friend Steve or Alex, like I mentioned, just, fantastic with music to the point where I see the thesis of like why like being proficient in that is almost a different language. And because, like I said, I guess like more of a poetic sort of nature to wherever they might have come from. We're all diving at the same thing, which is something in here that you need to get out. And so we can help each other. It's in a sense, it is a prison to have so much stuff in you that you want to get out. And I think the best way to do that is collaboration. And so it would be great if I could just write poems, but I don't think anyone's reading poems anymore. Like, and I don't.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but
you might be surprised. There are still people out there that. So,
yeah,
just out of curiosity, are you by chance left-handed?
I am left-handed, but I guess to flesh it out more, I think it would be perfectly fine to put out my poems, and I would get the same satisfaction as maybe completing half a project almost, because I think it doesn't fully flesh it out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you read like Game of Thrones or like a Song of Ice and Fire, but he kind of felt like that. So the reason he started writing is because he didn't have a budget for making movies. So like he always wanted to make those into film. And so, and they kind of read like it, right? Like if you've ever read it, those sorts of things, like you clearly can tell he wanted that to be big, big, big. And so it was part of the process that he gained a TV show from that, so.
I don't know anything about Game of Thrones or that's
fine.
but I do know that song by Ed Sheeran, Fire and Ice, and that's a kick-ass song. I think that song. I think he did it. I think he did it for Game of Thrones or something like that.
Do you mean Icy Fire?
Maybe that's what it is.
That's for Tolkien stuff. That's like The Hobbit.
Is that
very similar?
Yeah, it's all the same in my head.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Star Trek, Tolkien.
Right.
Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's all the same.
Game of Thrones is it's super inspired by Tolkien, but much more cynical, much more of like a human condition with it. I prefer Tolkien. I like the good and the bad, the very Christian sentiments of it. I do kind of like that does resonate. It's like, you don't really need to complicate it more than that. You're doing good or you're doing bad.
My co-creator of the network would enjoy you.
Oh yeah,
he's in all that stuff. I'm like, dude, they tried to turn me into a Game of Thrones fan. They're like, Glick, there's this King Baratheon dude, and it's you. You got to watch the show so you can see this guy. You'll love him. He's a badass. He's a drunk. And I'm like, I'm still not watching.
Yeah, you definitely give Baratheon energy for sure. Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I love like anything like that because it's a very deep human condition of there's something with myth and like folklore story in your life. You can find a way to apply that to your struggles, and life is struggle after all, right? So applying something like a medieval knight to it is very important to a lot of people, including me because I'm a dork. But like, yeah, absolutely.
We all have our world of nerdiness where we live. I like I said, I'm a big fan of comic books. You know what I mean? So it's basically the same thing. It's a fantasy world, just a different world. We all have our things, and
it's what you would call archetypes. Like it's Carl Jung, like a very important. Well, he's not really a philosopher, but he's a psychologist. But he gets so deep into philosophy that I almost consider him that. But he would talk about archetypes like that. So like if you see something like any of them, like Thor, right? Like Thor is Thor throughout time.
Yeah.
Like that is just strength and masculine qualities. It's good. It's important.
Yeah.
It's important for young kids to have. It's important for adults to have. It's you can get different things from it. It's a multifaceted, nourishing effect of the human soul that you can tap into at any point.
Go to hell, pickled pepper.
Yeah, I saw this. What is this?
Never you mind.
Yes, he is. I agree. You're a philosopher as well.
Yeah, you go to hell, pickle pepper. I'll deal with you later, you sorry son of a bitch. You commie bastard. I don't know anything about polka. The only thing I know about polka music is there's the guy who is the polka king of somewhere, and then Weird Al.
Jack Black played it. Yeah. That was like
Jack Black played it. Yeah. It was a pretty good movie. Not gonna lie. But I am a fan of Jack Black.
You've got kids. Did you see the newest like Minecraft movie?
Not yet, but my son, my son who is 11 was like, Dad, there's a Minecraft movie, and I was like, yeah, I see it. And the only saving grace is Jack Black's in it, so I'll probably watch it with you.
Yeah, I'm really genuinely concerned if it's good or not. But like, I used to play Minecraft when I was younger. But yeah,
man, I watch my kids play it, and I'm just like, what is happening right now? Like
it's
what are
so
you doing?
Open. It's so open source. Yeah, like very creative. I love that sort of thing. It's just like
and all my son does is the creative mode. That's all he does.
Yeah, that's what I used to do. Yeah. Wait, no, I did. No, I did the other one. Never mind. Yeah, I forget the other one.
He builds some of the coolest shit, but I'm also like, I don't have the patience for that. I'm a Call of Duty guy. Like,
it is funny because, like, in my line of work, I'm teaching lots of kids around the ages of like grade 2 to grade 7, and they all still kind of play Minecraft. Like, it's not the most popular, but a lot of them will still play it. It's funny the different personalities that will play the creative mode and the mode where you're like surviving. And it's just like there's two different realms of human thought here. That really, you could write essays on it. That's good.
my Unfortunately, there's a I don't know. Fortunately, unfortunately, there my ADHD brain. ADHD brain. I can't do it. I like I'm a Call of Duty guy. I got into a little bit. I got into was it Skyrim or one of those games like Skyrim?
Right.
Got into it a little bit, but again, a friend of mine, she was big into D&D and all those video games, and she was like, she hyped it up. She's like, you could be a tank, and I'm like, well, I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. And then I got into it. That's what it was. It was. I don't know if that's. I might have dabbled in that a little bit.
Wasn't Baldur's
Gate. I was like, yeah. Now, like being a tank was pretty cool. Because that's me in my normal life. Like, I rush headfirst into situations. Sometimes I get into trouble. Sometimes it works out. But then also the building a character and collecting this and collecting that and having these jewels that do this and these gems and this and that. And I'm like, there's too much going on. Just give me Call of Duty where I can just blow shit up. It's fast paced. It's fast paced. It's quick. And I can still build things. I can build guns and everything like that. But I need that fast pace now, because otherwise I just get bored and I'm like,
That's perfectly, I totally get that too. Yeah, especially like after a day's work or something. Like, it's good to just zone out sometimes. Yeah,
it's mindless. And I'll come home and shout out to my fiance. She's awesome. I'll come home from work and before a show, I'll jump on and I just do my daily. Like games have their daily achievements, and I'll jump on there and I'll be like, I just want to get my dailies. And she's like, you're fine. I'm gonna read my Kindle. And I'm like, cool. But it's just that mindless, just unwind. I don't want to think no more. I've just been at work all day. Yeah, like I've been at work all day, and I've got my show prep done before the show tonight, and then I'm mentally preparing myself for the show ahead, and it's just I only shut my brain off for a few minutes. But
absolutely, it's cooler than just what I've been doing, which is just getting like looped into like just fucking Instagram reels. Like that's I whenever I catch myself doing that, I'm like, what am I doing right now? I could be doing anything else. Yeah.
I'm not mad at Instagram. I'm not mad at the Instagram reels because like I said, my algorithm is pretty spot on specific. Obviously that's how I came across you guys. It's music and it's up and coming local artists, which is what this show is designed for. So, and then I have like podcasty stuff and sports stuff. I'm a big sports guy. And then, and that's really about it. You got some cute animals and stuff in there. Otters. I love otters. I don't know why. I love otters. They're fucking adorable.
You both said otters at the same time?
Yeah, she knew it was coming. And like the bullies, pit bulls, American bulldog or bullies and stuff like that. So it's like it's a very specific algorithm, which as I get the guys more and more involved on our algorithm or on our Instagram, I'm sure the algorithm is going to change. But I find myself doing that too. That and YouTube shorts, man. I'll just mindlessly scroll, but there's so many wormholes I go down from like
Mm.
paranormal stuff, true crime, unsolved mysteries, and it's just like,
Yeah.
again, much like the Forge thing, 3 hours of my life sitting on the toilet is gone.
Numb
my
legs.
fiance's my fiance's come back 4 times to check and make sure I'm still alive, and it's like, yeah, I'm good. What are you doing? I'm mindlessly scrolling, But
Yeah, the historical house I work in, like, I just had to stay late the other night just because we had a paranormal activity team coming through, and
nice.
I'm in there. I'm in there every day, so I've never seen anything. Well, I say that, but actually, a pretty cool one that just happened. It's not even that cool because I was just genuinely concerned that I'd lost my mind. But you have like, so there's like a whole group of like grade 2s running around looking for artifacts because they do a scavenger hunt for their like day out from school. Who I work with will like keep them with them, and they'll like move through every room so it's a bit more orderly. I kind of like chaos, so I kind of let them just run off, and I'm just like, don't touch anything or you're sitting down, basically, is like my whole thing. And then so I'm seeing these kids go off. Usually it's groups of like 11 to 12 of them, but this was like 8, so there was like specifically less kids. So I was like, I had an eye on all of them. And in old houses from like 200 years ago, you usually have like a root cellar, and that door is nearly always open. And it's in the kitchen. So a big kitchen area that's usually connected to the pantry. And it's like just basically half the house is like a kitchen there. And so I could see them all. They're all running around. And then I saw one go down the stairs, and I said, like, only stay on this floor. So I went down there after him, and he was in like overalls. And that's how I knew, because I remember I was like, kid in overalls went down the stairs. So I went down there, no one down there. And then the kids were like, what are you doing down there? I thought you said don't go down there. And I was like, one of you just went down there. And they were like, no, they didn't. No. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm either losing my mind or something actually did happen. So
you were chasing a ghost, man. I'm huge into paranormal. I love
the way that the paranormal activity people describe, because I did tell them, I was like, ultimately I would have said to you, I've never seen anything. I did just kind of see something. I don't know if that's seeing something. Maybe I'm probably just like, it was like 9 a.m. I probably just hadn't had enough coffee, but like that's the rationally speaking. I went and told them this, and they were like, well, kids kicking up an activity like that probably like made something happen. And I was like, that sounds right. I don't want it to be, because that's creepy as fuck. Maybe,
I want to be losing my mind in this situation. You and I have a lot in common, and that's why I had to ask you if you were left-handed, because I'm left-handed as well. And they say that left-handed people think and act a certain way. And he just said there, like, you kind of enjoy the chaos.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's
drives everyone I work with fucking nuts. Drives all of them nuts, because they're all like,
dude.
And they're like, let's do it this way, and I'm like, oh, what? I don't know. Like, I don't know anything about that, so I annoy them a lot, I think. But
yeah. Oh yeah. I work in property management now, currently, and basically what that boils down to is I'm a maintenance tech at I have 2 buildings, and I'm just kind of there. Well, I'm a body. I take care of the common areas because it's residential, but all the units are owned, so we don't do anything on the inside. That's up to the homeowners and whatnot. But my boss, I drive her crazy because she's like, we got to organize, and you got to, and I'm like, no, I strive under organized chaos. I have to be working on 5 different projects at the same time. They're all going to get done, but I love I call it organized chaos, because on the outside looking in, people are like, this dude's out of his mind. He's crazy. But to me, it's perfectly normal. Like, don't structure me, and don't pin me in. Otherwise I start to go crazy. Like, let me.
Yeah, I'm not good with that either. Yeah, I'm better with just leaving me to it. I'll get it done. Yeah.
Just let me do my thing. I got this. Trust me. You guys hired me for a reason. You came to me. I didn't come to you. I'm that damn good, and I am. So
yeah, absolutely. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah. You think somebody came and told Beethoven how to write a symphony? You think Van Gogh, had somebody. Hey, maybe you should do a line like this. Maybe you should do that. No, they just were left to their devices.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, whatever. Eventually they see that you've done it, right? So it's fine
Yeah.
if you can prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The homeowners, they love it. They're like, hey, there's Glick. Oh, what's he? Oh, there goes Glick. Oh, now he's over here. Like, I'm everywhere. Yeah, I'm out everywhere. But when it comes to when it comes, as you said, I'm not a big reader. Again, that comes down to getting bored. I always have been a fan of poetry. Love Robert Frost, Maya Angelou. Always been a big fan of poetry. It's a quick read, quick kind of like I can read 3 or 4 of them and go on about my business type deal.
Right.
But
Yeah.
when you write, where do you get your inspiration to write? Like whether let's focus on the music because you've got a lot going on. You're writing a book.
I'm all over the place. Yeah. That's
when it comes to you sitting down, excuse me, to write music, where does your inspiration come from?
So it depends from project to project. I really compartmentalize a lot like that. So if it fits with whatever I'm writing, so Unbowed stuff is very like philosophical. Like the last whole album we did was again very Carl Jung oriented. So like the soul speaking out sort of thing. Its connection to like the Germanic runes and things like that because I studied that a lot in university.
Okay.
So a lot of that sort of thing. Alex comes from Alex Snape again. So he's the guitarist I've been working with forever. He usually comes from a place of like just writing amazing riffs. Or like he's very good at it, very good at writing stuff that just sounds cool as fuck. And then I come from more of a place of like, what does this make me feel when I'm listening to what he's written? And then how can I, compartmentalize that into some sort of like structural philosophical thing that you might be able to scream over. Like it's
yeah, right.
Whereas with this project, like the Holy Oath stuff, that I keep getting text messages. So that's why I was copying your link there to send to them.
You're good.
So yeah, the Holy Oath stuff is different because it comes from more of a place of like, on one level, it's the book that I'm writing, but on another, it's like there is a really weird Twin Peaks almost vibe to a lot of the places that you get to in Southern Ontario. It's like, again, speaking with you because you do like the paranormal stuff, it almost feels like there's like 2 places on top of each other sometimes. And I feel like this music that I have been creating for this is very trickling out from somewhere else. So I always say walk with me where the veil thins is like the main thing with this band. It's like especially like it's like fishing seasons opened up. When I go and like write for this sort of project during that time, it's like amazing shit is coming, especially during those seasons. And it's it feels like it comes from somewhere else. It's if you know the band Tool, that's like where they get their name, right? So they believe themselves like antennae for something. Like you're not writing it, it's coming to you. And it's almost like that idea that people talk of like if you ever listen to like Rogan at all, like he was saying the other day, like it's kind of like ideas are their own sort of entities. And like it does kind of feel like that to me whenever I've been in a creative headspace. It does feel more like, I don't know if that's me, actually. I really don't know. Yeah. And so it is weird when I get compliments for things because it's like, I don't know, how much is that? Like, what is you at the end of the day? What is you? So definitely more liminal than a philosophical thing. I think Unbowed kind of channels a lot of my, well, it's aggressive music, right? But like Holy Oath, always been a project that seems like something I've wanted to do. And it's really weird that I talk about it with Steve on a daily basis, the guy who produces it, that it's like, we should have done it sooner, but we didn't for a reason. And I've always had these songs, like a few of them, like the the first one we did, Your Eyes Are the Perfect Crime, is a very old song. It's like 4 or 5 years old, but
That's
never
a good
put it out.
song.
Thank you. And I don't know why I've never put it out, and there was no reason to put it out until there was a reason to put it out. So
Yeah.
in many ways, I guess you kind of feel like a beer brewer as well sometimes. Like it's like that I'm going to shelf that and it'll be something later. Like, you know.
Yeah. It'll come up it'll come up later. Well, you know, it's also one of those things where, you know, things happen for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that. And when the time's right, you'll know it. So you had that song in your back pocket and you held on to it, and you know, for whatever reason, you knew that the time was right, and you did it with Holy Oath. Cool song, by the way. Again, definitely digging the song, and you know, it's one of the other ones I downloaded for the night.
But to answer the question, I guess it's not. Yeah, it's like it's very specific to what it is. But this is the one I would say is the closest to the poet side. You know, it's like there's something I don't know what it is. Especially there's a town around here called Elora, very old town. And as a historian, I look into the history of this stuff and like where it came from. It feels like a dairy, if you know, like Stephen King. It's like very dairy vibes, very like something else sleeps here. Like it feels like something else. So me and the guitarist Joaquin, who I've known even longer than Alex, like we've it's such a small town vibe around here. Like we've known each other since like grade 5. Like when he knew like barely any English, we met each other because he was from Mexico originally, and we go on a weekly basis. We go to Elora, and it's like the place we get the most inspiration. So like, and we'll usually have 2 or 3 beers, do our tarot, and then like go for a walk in the like around the stream and the river and stuff. Really, like I don't know why you do it, and then
I'm gonna start looking at planning a trip up there. You know, we can hang out, man.
Let's get fucking drunk. Let's go for it.
Hey, baby, you want to go to Canada? You want to go
to? We're fun. I'll take you to the best fucking country bar. It's amazing up here. It's
nice.
Heart goes ham up here as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll get my boots out. No, man, I love this kind of stuff. Maybe that's what the draw was, you know, that kind of, you know, like you said, it's put it in terms for me being like a comic book guy, you know, it's almost like a multiverse, and there's different variants of you, and that comes out in these different projects, whether you know, it be Holy Oath or Unabowed or Soul, or your poetry or your book. Like there's different variants of you from different, like a different multiverse, as the MCU says. But each one of those variants are able to lock into what they want to do in that particular situation, and that's really cool, man. You know, and I'm digging the vibe with Holy Oath. Obviously, I'm going to be checking out the other bands. Like I almost feel like I could have you on this show like 4 or 5 different times and just talk about different projects.
Whatever you want. I can talk shit all night. I'm just I rant for a living. So
that's one of the cool things about this show is because you never know the type of people. I was actually just talking to my guest from last week. Him and I were talking today. You never know how you're gonna vibe, how you're gonna click, and you know, friendships are. I've formed a few friendships from different guests and whatnot, but you know, like I'm locked in. Like I'm like, man, this dude is so fucking cool. Like he's on the same wave. Yeah. Because there's a lot of people that when I'm like, you know, like you said,
I know
you go to that town and it almost feels like and we've got places like that here where it's like something's a little off. You know what I mean? Like
it's always like if you see like the types of businesses that pop up in those towns, it's always different. Like there's some in Elora that are just like, that's weird. Like some of them that are owned by like like people who are like what's the one called? I don't know. I'm trying to remember its name, but anyway, just like very esoteric. Like I looked up their like business name, and eventually like it comes back to you that they're like they actually like hunt for like the Holy Grail and things like that, and they just ended up.
Wow.
There's weird stuff like that, and like yeah, some of like the coolest little pubs too. Like there's one that just shut down called the Portslight, and they still had like an open stove. And the last night that me and Joaquin went in there, like the bartender was just like pissed drunk, like, and we were like, it's because they were closing, I guess, and it was more like a friendly sort of situation. And he like grabbed me by the shoulder, and he's like, "There's something weird in this town, eh?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, there is." Yeah, so I don't know.
It's got a oh, what the hell? What is that goddamn name of that movie? It's got Simon Pegg in it, where he's the
oh yeah, the
cop.
World's End. No,
well, the World's what was it?
Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
And then yeah, like it's like a combination of like Hot Fuzz and World's End. Both great movies. Simon Pegg is such an underrated actor.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
Oh, they get it. They get that vibe. They get the whole youth that I'm talking about. Like
yeah.
Especially World's End, they're playing like Sisters of Mercy throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's got that kind of just that vibe, that low key
connects it. Yeah. It connects. I haven't figured it out yet. That's why you get the archetype of the detective maybe in things like the music video. Like it's like there's something going on. I don't know. Like
right.
I'm hot on the case. I'm hot on the case of it. I don't know. But right now I'm satisfied with the cool riffs that come out of it. So
it's super cool song. Yeah, like I said, you know,
thank you.
It's just like I don't know. It almost kind of puts you in a trance. You know, when you're
awesome.
just kind of vibing with it. And like I said, I'm a huge music nerd. And the cool thing about, you know, music is when you can write a song, perform a song, and I grew up in the MTV era, music videos, and if you can put a video with a song, and they like certain band, like Michael Jackson was great at doing this. Aerosmith was great. Guns N' Roses was great. Country artist Tracy Lawrence was phenomenal at creating music videos to go with the song. I mean, he had
what's some of his songs? It's like
he did he's done Alibis, Texas Tornado.
I must have heard some of them. Yeah.
You might, and even Travis Trent. Travis Trent was great about writing a song. He's another country artist.
Yeah, I love that guy.
He was great about writing a song, telling a story in the song, but then making a video that made you feel the song, like the song hit even harder when you watched the video. And Tracy Lawrence and both Travis Trent did this thing where they kind of turned their music videos into a movie. So each video was a continuation. And
it's something that me and Julian have talked about. Like everything we do should kind of like hint at some sort of cohesion. It's something like when I was growing up, like I kind of yearned for that through other things, and you'd connect them yourself. So clearly people do want it, I think. They want some sort of pattern or cohesion. That's always something humans look for. So you don't even have to
definitely see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that video. Like in all honesty, you know, you're left with the missing poster of the detective or sheriff or you know, at the end of it, and I'm like, well, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
I need more.
I need more. Exactly. Yeah. It's cool. You know, it's the best when you don't have to spell it out for people. People are quite smart. You know, like people get that stuff themselves. You don't really have to, and that's the thing with most media today. I feel like it like spoon feeds you a lot. Like you don't need to do that. Like people are smart, and like it just shows like a lot of like, you know, that sort of like, what would you even call that? Like I guess, a complex of some sort, like the media complex. They just kind of think you don't know how to think, but you can just do it. Like, let them do that thing, you know?
The people, it's almost like a cult nowadays, man. The people who follow the media and then these news channels, like,
it's nuts.
Their word is bond. What they say is the end all. Like, no, it's really not at the end of the day, because you have to realize this is just clickbait. They don't even have the full story, and they're running with it. And
I don't even know what happened, but like growing up in a metal and punk scene, and then people just being like, no, they're telling the truth all of a sudden. It's like, what are you talking about? I've never changed my view on this. That's stupid. They're probably lying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely very it's very cultish at the end of the day.
It's so stupid. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, you know that we're all free thinkers. We have free will. We can think on our own. You know?
If someone's paying that much money to tell you something, probably got a little bit of bias in it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like, exactly.
Just think about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's like me coming on here and being like, the Nonsensical Network is the greatest podcast network ever. There's no podcast network that is as good as we are, because I said it. And you know, Joe Rogan and I have beef. He doesn't know it, but just let it be known. I got beef with you, Joe Rogan. I kid. I think he's a fantastic. He's the godfather of podcasting. I'm not a fan of his show. I do watch. Some things get my attention, but he's very good at what he does. And like I said, he's the end all be all when it comes to podcasting. Like, he is the guy. He's the Don. He's the Godfather. I would love that.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I would love to one day that my name be mentioned alongside of him. But however, until then, I'm going to talk shit about Joe Rogan. I just hope we never meet in person, because I'm a big guy and I can handle my own, but Joe Rogan would beat the hell out of me.
I like that. I usually put on like a Theo Vaughn in the background. I was like, that guy's funny.
I do like some Theo Vaughn. He's an interesting character, to say the least.
I just like, his brain works different. It's very funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he's funny as hell. I do like Theo Vaughn. So what's next for you guys? Are you guys working on like an album? Are you guys planning on doing some touring? You planning on what do you just gonna drop some singles, some more videos? I hope you drop more videos. And if you need a guy to be in a video, I know a guy. I mean,
oh, nice. Okay.
I know a guy. Yeah. He's big. He's bearded. He can be kind of scary at times.
Walk down. Yeah, come hang out. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Next, so I kind of apply like a rhythm to most things. Otherwise, I get distracted. So yeah, like there's a good hip hop band I listen to from Australia called Triple One. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but like,
no, I haven't, but I'll have to check them out.
So they do a lot of single drops. They used to anyway. But like, I really like that idea, because I don't think your average listener gives a fuck about like a band they've never heard of. So if they're going to listen to anything, I think it's going to be on the fly. And I think if they're going to find something they like about it, it's probably through a single. So I like dropping the singles. I've been asked by probably interested in an album that we're thinking about it now. So yeah, like, but it's kind of just my sort of business tactic brain that I don't usually apply, but I've started to now. Like, unless people are asking, just keep doing what you were doing. That's kind of how I was viewing it. Do what you like. Even in like live shows, I felt like, what's the point of doing that for like 3 or 4 people in different places? Like, I've played live and gone on tour enough to realize it's, for a lot of people, an excuse to like get drunk and party and like, but like, and that's great when you're younger, but like, I'm kind of over it. Like, I don't really need to do that. If I want to get drunk and party, I have plenty of friends here. I don't need to do that.
Yeah, right.
Away from the wife. Like, that's a lot of people. Like, once you start getting a bit old. But like, I like to tour when people want to hear my music, and you get to a certain point where it's like, okay, how many people are going to be at that bar that night who've never heard of you and go, I'm going to look them up on social media? Like, probably not many, right? And like, that's not me being a nihilist, but it's more like supply and demand, I think, is what I'd rather look at it like. And I'm not going to take time out of my work week that I need in order to survive as a human being to go do that for people who don't even really need to listen to it. I will do that when people want to have a good night with friends by going out to listen to music they've heard and they want to listen to. I think that's a better way of doing it. So, so for like playing live, I'm okay with playing a few live sets like at New York if like people like us there. Same with like a hometown show where people definitely want to hear it. And like I've been asked a few times, fine. But I'm not like gonna engage all my effort into getting really good at playing live if no one's even heard our songs online yet, because that's clearly where everyone lives now. So like we're in a big global community online and no one knows how the algorithms work. So I would rather at least shoot my efforts and exhaust myself digitally before I step out into the world that no one seems to go out into anymore. You know,
right.
So
well, you know, it's all about finding the right, you know, the right city, right town.
Yeah.
You know, where they enjoy live bands. You know, like I said, my little town where I live at, my little big town that I live at, you know, people enjoy live music, and you may never heard of them. I mean, there's been bands where Lord knows I've never heard of them, but I'm like, oh, they got a live band tonight. Let's go there, and then you go, and it's a packed fucking bar, and it's just like
totally right.
Shit. Like
those do exist, like, for sure. Yeah, I sound really cynical. I don't mean to sound cynical for that. Like there are those places, absolutely, and I would travel to them in a heartbeat. And I don't mind if no one likes us, or I don't mind if no one knows us. That's completely cool. But I guess just like going on a tour to places where not every one of those places will exist.
Yeah.
You know, but like, you know, this girl that I have been in contact with in New York, whose name I should probably go get, but like, so sorry to her.
Shout her out.
But yeah,
Shit, I'll take a break, and you can get her name, and then
sure, yeah. But no, I trust when someone like a promoter says like, absolutely, your music would do well, even though they don't know you. That's enough for me. Like that's not. So I'm not trying to be cynical with that, but like, just traveling blindly, maybe not. But you know, if I know there's an appetite for that sort of like goth music, I'll go. Like but for now, what's next for us? Like we're still recording singles. I'll probably compile them into an album when I feel like it's ready to. And I have enough money to properly finance like advertisement for it, I suppose, because you know, it's not enough to just have you putting it out there, really. Like that doesn't work as well as I'd hope it would, but you know, that's the reality of it. There's so many cool bands out there.
Well, and like you said, you know, everybody lives online these days, and I think, you know, I think a lot of artists are starting to do that rather than putting in the work in the studio and dropping a full album. They're like, oh, we got this single, let's drop this single and do a cool ass video to it, you know. And let's get some you know, former guest of the show and now co-host on my football show, shout out to Derek Wayne Douglas. He does that. He's dropping songs, like he's dropped enough songs to just record an album at this point, but he's literally dropping a new song like every week, every other week, and it's just like, dude, why aren't you doing an album? He's like, because this is getting more play than doing a whole ass album. You know, I've talked to a few other artists that have that mindset. I think that's the mindset nowadays, because everybody lives online, and that's where you're going to get your following from, and people are going to want more. They're going to want to see more, and it's not like back in the day where, you know, you're only going to get noticed if you get radio play, and you're only going to get radio play if you're dropping an album, because, you know, you have one or two singles that come off of an album, and the radio stations are going to play them. And again, I'm a radio nerd, because before podcasting. I wanted to be on radio. And as you know, and now we're in this day and age that we live in. It's all about likes, follows, comments, TikTok. TikTok. There's a lot of TikTok artists, and there's a lot that I'm like, wow, they're really good. You're only seeing a minute of them, and then you go look up their stuff, and it's just like, they're really not that good. Like they created something real catchy.
Yeah,
yeah, and then you go listen to like an actual song, and it's just like, man, damn, like I was really, just don't do full songs anymore. Just stick to what you're doing.
Yeah, I've found a few bands like that. Yeah, like a great like clip, but then you listen to the full song, it's like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, and I've said this a lot doing this show. I think the cool thing is there's a resurgence of musicians and artists, like actual musicians and actual artists who write their stuff. They take pride in what they're doing, and they're not just going into a studio with 30 songwriters and punching in a code on the laptop to make their voice sound better and tweaking everything. They're real songwriters, they're real musicians. And being a little bit older, I hate to say this because I sound like a grumpy old man on his porch yelling at kids to get off his lawn. Music dropped off in the mid 2000s, and we need artists like you and other artists that thank you. Love you.
That's great.
She wants to kill me. I love you. She's not feeling good.
Sick.
But yeah.
I've got a blocked ear. I don't know if you can tell, but I just keep like going like this because it's blocked. Yeah.
It's just... she claims she's dying. I told her she's not allowed to die.
Yeah.
You don't get out of this this relationship that easy. You're stuck with me, woman.
Yeah, I think probably music's like arguably better than ever, but in a sad way, no one knows how to access any of it. It's kind of like information as well. Like it's like, anything that you like about Linkin Park, you could probably hear 10 times over with like 4 or 5 different bands. Is that better for society? I don't know, but it kind of leads, like certain genres flounder for a while and then they try and find their footing. But like for the most part, there's no money in it, so therefore you don't hear it unless you're looking for it. So that's what's sad about that. But like,
so speaking on that, and I think I kind of already know the answer to that, or to the question I'm about to ask. Are you guys, your main focus? Are you guys in any of the projects that you're involved with? Are you looking for the money and the fame, or are you doing it for the love of it? You love what you're doing.
Yeah. So like, I would love to make a living off of doing it. That'd be fantastic. But like, I'm, also completely rational as a human being, and that's probably not ever going to happen. And that's totally cool too, because I have other passions. So like, as long as I can keep myself stable and be able to have the energy to do all the things I love before I perish or, start dying. Yeah. And it's like, that's okay. I don't do it for a reason. I do it for the journey, sort of thing, Yeah,
exactly.
There's a great Ontario artist called David Gold who died in 2011, but he was our hero growing up. And one of the things that resonated with us as kids getting into a genre where you're ultimately doomed to never make anything of it was, there is no destination, there's only the journey. That was his quote for that. And yeah. Oh, wow. So I live by that. It also resonates through most mythologies that I studied. So like Ragnarok, right? The gods, they know that their doom is coming, but they ride toward it anyway. That's it's because you love it. You don't need anything out of it. I think that's beautiful, and I think that's the human condition. We all know we're going to die, so you might as well make something great of it. So the next person in line can go, well, he did that. That's cool. I'm going to do that too. And ultimately, I think that leads to a better world for people coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I get that quote one more time? Because I'm going to use that. I like that quote, man.
Sure. Yeah. Dave Gold's. Yeah. It's there is no destination. There is only the journey. It's he actually says it. It's like a spoken word at the end of a song called "The Will to Give" by Woods of Ypres.
Okay.
YPRES. Woods of Ypres. Great, phenomenal black metal band from Southern Ontario. So I have to rep them. They're fantastic. They're the reason I do everything, probably.
Yeah, I'm actually writing it down because I'm old school and I got my little notepad right here. Uh, as I say, when I die,
Oh,
somebody's
I do
gonna
that.
find this
Yeah.
note. Somebody's gonna
I have
find this
about
notebook and
I've got
think I
about
was a
1,000 of
madman.
these. I just fill these with
Nice.
everything I write. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna find this notebook after I die and be like, "This dude is out of his mind," because
Oh
I just
yeah.
write shit, like, and it's
Yeah.
shorthand or whatever. So I don't, so I understand it and I won't forget it, but I like that quote and I want to use that quote and I want to make sure
Yeah, it's
um,
cool.
I give credit where credit's due. That's a good
Yeah.
quote because I mean that's truly what it is. I mean that's kind of where we are. Obviously, I would love to quit my day job and do this full time and make more than enough money to live off of. But at
Sure.
the end of
Yeah.
the day, I love doing this. I love the opportunities that I'm given. Whether it be doing this show and getting to meet new people and introduce people to new artists and new genres of music because I'm sure there's people out there that listen to this show or watch this show and they're like, why the hell is Glick interviewing this guy? They're like, what
Yeah,
does Glick
Molly.
know
Yeah.
about this music? Yeah, like, why don't you shut the hell up and listen to their music and listen to what the man's saying, you know? And then they do. They shut the hell up and they listen to what you're saying. They listen to your music and they're like, oh, okay. And then you got a new fan. And
Oh yeah.
you're one step closer to reaching that goal or quote unquote possibly hitting that destination and being where you want to be. But no, man, it really is about the art. It sounds cheesy to say that and kind of cliche, but it is at the end of the day. And I think that's what we're coming into as far as music goes these days. We're coming into a new generation of artists that are truly doing it for the art again. We lost that somewhere down the road and now we're getting back to it. And I'm
Yeah.
highlighting.
Well, like you said, like I think it's probably never been lost. There's probably always been that, but like highlighting it has been lost, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those people, yeah, they've probably always been there. Like there's probably always those people who you can probably find it in any year of human creation where you're just like, oh, that guy was trying, but
yeah, right. Exactly.
But it being on
Exactly.
radars, yeah, it's definitely more of a thing now because people don't know where to look for inspiration or like guidance, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, weird time we live in for sure.
For more than one reason.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do here, man. I want to highlight you guys because I mean there's a lot of super talented artists out there, and like I said, I didn't know until tonight. I keep repeating it. My mind's just kind of because I'm looking at these other, and talking to you, and and everything is different. You're involved with 3 different bands here, and it's all they're all different. They all have their own
they're all
kind of stuff.
there's thing going on for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I could talk to you all night long. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I'll talk anytime you want, though. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, this definitely got to be a continuation. I do want to tell you, though, as I said, we do 7 shows a week here, or 8 shows a week here. I'm on 3 or 4 of them. Man, I would love to have you pop up, conversate on different shows. I'd love to have you on this one again.
Oh yeah, of course, anytime, man. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to reach out. And like, if I could interrupt there just a second, like, we didn't do any sort of PR for any of this. I just used like boosting on Instagram, and if it found cool people like you, then it works, right? So there we go. That's the proof.
I know. I was gonna say you're absolutely proof of I need to start boosting some stuff. But what I want to do, I want to keep you for just a little bit longer, but I want to take a real quick break. I want to play another song here.
Yeah.
I want to take a real quick break. I got a couple more, and I won't keep you too much longer.
No problem.
But I do have a couple more questions I want to ask you. But I want to play. And you brought this up a little bit ago. Your eyes are the perfect crime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I want to play this here real quick, and then we're gonna come right back. And like I said, I got a few more questions for you, and then I'm gonna let you get the hell out of here because I'm sure you got work in the morning.
No worries.
I got work in the morning, but it's Friday. Sir. Don't get into anything that don't think about it, don't talk about it, don't look at it. Just get through the day. It's Friday. So we'll be right back. Here's Holy Oath with Your Eyes Are the Perfect Crime.
Cool.
Oh, there you go. Little, excuse me. Oh, holy, oh, your eyes are the perfect crime. Cool video. Pretty girl looks like she go cause some mayhem and mischief in your life.
She's a good one. She's good, that one.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
She's a manager of the local country bar. She's a cool girl.
Nice. He doesn't know her name, but
she was like, it was like on the fly. I was just like, "Hey, do you want to be in this music video? Like, I need like a girl with dark hair." And she was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So,
hell yeah, absolutely, man. That's cool, man. And again, that speaks volumes on having that community behind you.
Yeah. If I like you, I'm gonna ask you something. Probably, I'll probably be like, "I need to pull you for something." Yeah.
Yeah, hey, I feel you, and I do that from time to time. I'm like, hey, you hook me up with something? Can I make a request? I've done that a couple of times. I've had a couple of guests where I'm like, could you do a cover of a specific song for me? They're like, yeah, what do you want to hear? And I'm like, and I tell them, and then the next day they're like, hey, here you go. I'm like, holy shit. Fucking just sat down on the couch, got the guitar out, and did a cover. I'm like, yo, you need to put that on. You need to get that on social media. you need to do it, or I'm going to do it. One of the two. But
yeah, I've gotten a few requests for songs from some girls in the DMs. I'm like, all right, I'll see if I got time. I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, there you go. It's all about the girls, man. I'm telling you, they're only 29. It leads to trouble. They're going to get you in trouble, man.
Yeah.
They're no good. They're up to no good. A bunch of hussies. Go to church, ladies.
Hey, man. They're the sole reason you write sad songs. It's fucking cool.
Hey, I've had a few guys on the show.
Can't be too mad at them. Yeah.
I've had a few guys on the show, man. They're country artists, and they kill the art of writing an old school country love song, old school countries. I'm like, yo, why don't you just do that thing? Like, don't do anything else. Just do the country sad songs, do the country love songs, man, because this shit's fucking insane how good you are at it. And they're like, yeah, the girls love it. And I'm like, yeah, they do. Yeah. You dummy.
Nothing gets the girls going more than the fact that they've heard a man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you big dummy. Of course they do. They've lived it. We've all lived it. We all loved a good sad song, man. We've all been there at some point in time.
It resonates. It resonates. It's like the more naked you can be in a song, like the better, I think.
Yeah, 100%. But welcome back to Glick's House of Music. We're a little bit in overtime. We're gonna just go over a little bit here. It is what it is. It's the great thing about being the boss of a network. I can do whatever I want.
Hell yeah.
But one of the things I wanted to ask you, as far as the music videos go, because we've played 3 songs tonight, and I think all 3 of the videos are cool. They go right along with the songs. Obviously, Raven Black caught my attention, and then Haunt. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Why is he doing a goddamn news report? Like, what the hell? Oh, what the hell? What's going on in the back?
Yeah.
There's somebody behind you. Turn around.
Oh yeah, that'll work. That's good.
But no, where do you, again, much like your songwriting and stuff like that, where do you get your ideas for your music videos? I mean, does it come from the song itself, or is it just somewhere else?
Great question. I think for the most part, for the music video, whenever I find a good music video, it's usually because I'm listening to the song and picturing something in my head. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a place I like to go for a walk. I'll usually take a beer and some weed, and because that's legal here. Yeah. But
legal here is legal here.
Yeah, I don't I wouldn't consider myself huge into weed or anything, but like if I am smoking weed, it's usually by myself, going for a walk and thinking and listening to something.
Relaxation.
Relaxation. Usually it's for like thinking about, like, it opens new doors, right? That's the whole thing with any sort of substance. I think the benefits of any substance, you shouldn't overdo it like anything else, but like if you're using it, you should use it well. And for me, like a beer or some weed, like it's really good, opening up some doors that you wouldn't have thought about otherwise. It lets your brain wander kind of like a child's a bit more.
Mhm.
Like you don't have the same sort of like stoppage, like a resistor in like an electrical
Yeah.
current. You kind of take those out. You get some more watts in there, and then
Mm.
so there's a place I usually go for a walk. It's kind of like a dog park. It's along on one side you have like lots of vast Canadian forest, and then on the other side you have a big fucking highway with cookie cutter houses next to it, and it's like a very
Yeah.
really diametrically, it's
Yeah.
opposing. It's very good for that. That's actually where I filmed the haunt video because that spot matters a lot to my creative process. Like I'll go for a walk.
Yeah.
It's a very narcissistic sort of catwalk runway where you can just kind of think by yourself. It's nice.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
There's a rune in the Elder Futhark called the Isa or Isa, and that's what we call that walkway whenever we go for a walk down there. Me and my friends. It's because Isa just means like ice. It's like contemplative, so it's like it's still. It's water that's patient, sat, thinking, distilled, and so it's a really good place to kind of visualize that. Very much so, like a highway. Like people like to go for drives for the same reason, right? It's like you get to
I'm that guy.
Yeah, you clear your head. I like to ride motorcycles. Like I'm huge into that. So I do the same thing. Just go for a ride. Like you clear your head.
I wish I had one.
Oh man, you should get one. They're great. They're fucking fun.
I had one when I was younger.
Yeah.
I want to
What'd
get.
you
I
have?
want to get I had a crotch rocket YZF.
Oh fuck yeah, nice. I'm more into like I like to like lean back with them. So I've got like a Honda Shadow.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of my buddy's bike. I had a CBR 900.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
My buddy had. I actually when I bought the bike, I took my buddy to pick up his YZF, and then the salesman got in my ear, and I'm like, I've never ridden a motorcycle. I was 16.
Yeah.
Never ridden a motorcycle before. My buddy was like, "It's the same as a dirt bike. It's not the same as a dirt bike." Let me tell you. But I want to get a big Indian. I want to get a cruiser, like a big.
Yeah,
I
Indians
want
are
an
the
Indian.
I fucking love Indians. Anything like they make just looks so sick. It looks like something like they made just to like trap me. Like it's good. I love those things.
Yeah. But I'm that guy. I like to, if I'm going through some stuff or if I got to get some shit off my mind or whatever, I'll find a backcountry road, crank up the music, and just drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, one of my worst qualities is probably like listening to music too loud with in-ear headphones. I've just done that forever, so I'm definitely going deaf. But like,
that's probably why I'm deaf.
Yeah, that's my go-to for like, and that's usually where I come up with good music video ideas. It's like your ego goes wild, right? So it's like, how could this look the coolest with this song, or like what fits it in your head? And like, it's kind of a jigsaw puzzle. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes years, sometimes it never even happens. It's like giving birth. It's like sometimes it doesn't come at all. It's like you care for it and it's sad, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Now,
real quick.
What's that?
Real quick. Sometimes you get pregnant.
That's how it feels. Like, it's super depressing when like you have a really cool idea and you have all these components, but for some reason it just didn't work that time. It collapses. But I don't know. It just paves the way for the next thing. So it's okay when that happens. But with the Holy Oath stuff, I've been on a good streak with it. It's like whenever I think of something, I've got a good idea that follows it. So it does feel ethereal because I do not consider myself the most productive human being on planet Earth. I think I'm very distracted. I think I have a lot of poor qualities that lead to self-deprecation and all the other stuff that people deal with. But like for some reason, this project's kind of it does that. And I think it's from going for walks and doing these rituals and understanding humility and knowing that maybe ideas aren't always just from you, but from something else. Like it's
exactly. No, it's funny. Sometimes you hear a song, and again, I bring up my buddy Rockley. I'll drop his name. Rockley, that's my boy. We met on TikTok. We clicked instantly. We become. He's one of my best friends. He's like a little brother to me, and he's an artist, and he's working on an album. And he's always sending me, new music and stuff like that. And he sent me this song, and great freaking song. Love the song, and instantly in my head I was like, dude, I'm like this would, and who am I to say anything? But in my head, I'm like, man, I have this idea for a great video concept. So I hit him up. I was like, hey, Rocky, I have a really cool idea for a video if you ever get to this point with this particular song. And I kind of told him, and he was like, I'm already ahead of you. That was my exact train of thought after I put it down and I listened to it and you know, and everything was finalized. He was like, that was my exact thought with this song. And I was like, hell yeah, that's going to be a kick-ass video to this song. But you got to drop your album, Rocky, if you're listening. You got to drop your album. God damn it. I've been waiting 5 years. But
it happens. It happens. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how that kind of happens. It's like you hear a song and it's like, you know, I bet this would be like an idea for a video would be pretty cool. Or like you said, you know, you just go on that walk, a little weed blaze if you're out there listening.
I don't know. Yeah, I know some other people who do it too much, and then it's like it fucks you. So you know, you really got to be careful with that. I use it like a potion, like a wizard. It's just like only when I really need to, you know. Like
there he is.
Yeah.
But Peter Piper, you pickled pecker. He's our resident stoner. We love him though. Yeah, no, I don't partake. Never been my thing. I don't judge people who do. More power to you. We all have our vices, and you know, and you know, as long as it doesn't hinder you as being a productive human being or semi-productive human being, do your thing, man. It's legal here in Ohio, and I think it's great. Oh yeah, just passed last year.
Okay.
It's been medically, which I think is awesome. I'm a huge supporter of medical marijuana. I've seen what it does for cancer patients firsthand, Parkinson, autism. You know, my nephew is autistic. My sister used to use the oils and stuff like that. Medically, oh my God, it does so much. Like, why is it not just medical everywhere? Like, get rid of these terrible. And I understand why. You know, money. It comes down to money at the end of the day. But man, you got all these terrible drugs that are out there doing terrible things to people. But then you have this one natural product that does so much. Like, why is it not medical across the board? You know, recreationally. You know, like not my thing, but more power to you. I guess, you know, I just, you know, for somebody that they just sit around and just stoned out of their mind all day long and don't function as a normal human being or productive member of society, you know, but, you know, ain't nothing wrong with enjoying a little. I mean, I drink, so who am I to judge somebody who smokes a little?
Yeah, it's hard. I've never been. Like I would never consider myself like a big proponent of weed or anything. Like it's like a every once in a while sort of thing for me. But like, if you want to do it, be careful. But yeah, sure.
Get after it, man. Do it responsibly. Like anything else.
Like literally anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna. I said this last week. The guy I had on, the gentleman I had on last week, solo, Reckless High. I'm definitely going to have you back up on here again, you know, and definitely, definitely going to drop the invite, you know, for any of the other shows. Saturday nights would be cool to see you come up if, you know, if you're ever around, not doing anything and we're live. All you got to do is jump in the comments and be like, hey, what's going on? Hit me. The link's already in the chat, but, you know, one of the last things I want to ask you. So moving forward, obviously, you know, this isn't the only show that takes breaks. All of our shows take breaks. As long as it's okay with you, and this is going to include the other bands because I'm going to check them out and whatnot. I would love to continue to play your guys' music here on the network on our different
that'd
shows.
Be an honor. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
I always ask permission. It's my little loophole. Fuck you, YouTube. You heard the guy. You can't copyright me. So when he's big and famous, I've got it here. He said that I could use his music.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that'd be an honor for sure.
Yeah, I would love to continue to incorporate it. Also, with that little part 2 of that, New Year coming around, a lot of things are not major changes here on the network, but just different mentalities in the way we do things. I've been saying it for a few months, but I'm working on a Spotify playlist. Are you guys on Spotify?
We are, yeah. We're on Spotify. Okay. Holy Oath.
I would love to add Holy Oath, or if any of your other projects are on Spotify, I would love to add you guys to my list. It'll go out onto our social media, and it's a Glick's House of Music playlist, so it's only artists who have been on my show.
Cool.
So I can continue to spotlight you guys and give you guys some play, let people hear you. But it's strictly dedicated for you guys that have been on Glick's House of Music.
No, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd be an honor to have our stuff on there for sure. Most of my stuff is on there. I think, if not all of it, except for like the more quirky shit. But yeah, it's all on Spotify. So, yeah.
Quirky shit. What is the quirky shit?
The quirky shit is like, like more like the Dungeons and stuff I'm talking about. Like that's on YouTube and stuff. Like things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, man.
Yeah. It's on YouTube.
Lovely to see you.
Yeah, brother, I appreciate you, man. It's funny, you try to judge how a show is going to go based off of conversation on Instagram. I figured you were going to be pretty cool. I figured this was going to be a fun interview based off of our limited conversation on Instagram. And from the moment you jumped in here, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. We're
man. Yeah, I felt the same. Yeah, you're a cool guy. Yeah, it was lovely to talk to you.
Like I said, I'm definitely, I didn't really know how I felt about having guests come back, but the more I do this, the more I'm like, man, I would love to talk to this person some more. I would love to. You're definitely in that category. Even having you pop up on some of the other shows, like I said, if you're around and we're live, and you're like, oh hey, that idiot Glick's live. What's he doing?
Anytime. Yeah.
Drop a little thing in the chat, and we'll make sure you get the link. And but we'll definitely stay in contact. Definitely. Anything you guys got coming up, make sure you keep me in the loop. We'll help promote stuff. We'll get stuff on our social media. I'll chop and screw this up. I'll try to make some clips. And I'll tag you guys in them. The cool thing, one of the cool things about Instagram, and shout out to my girl Jules in the How out in LA. She kind of put me on this. I didn't know that Instagram allows you to collaborate with other Instagram, or Instagrammers or grammars or Instaers. I don't know what we're called on Instagram, but you can send that collaboration, and when they accept it, that goes up on their feed as well.
For sure.
And their audience can see it as well as your audience and whatnot. That's a great tool for Instagram, especially for musicians, podcasters, and everything like that. I would encourage you guys to fully take advantage of it. I'll definitely be tagging you guys and inviting you guys for collaborations from the videos. Before we hit this in-stream button here, I always like to ask my guests, are there any words of wisdom you would like to share with the audience? Anything that kind of, whether it's a quote that resonates with you or just something that's kind of keeps you keeping on?
Always pick love over hate. Always, no matter what you're going through, just do what you love. Doesn't matter what's making you hate. The hate goes away. Just do what you love. That's it.
Hell yeah.
No need for it. There's a whole world of hate. You don't need it. You don't need to add to it. Might feel like you need to. You don't need to.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that anymore. And I'm an old dog. I'm an old dog. You can't keep an old. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. But I can't agree with that more, man. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to man, I feel so bad, but it sounds so much cooler. You're like, you got the cool accent. It sounds so much cooler. But Johan.
Cool, man. Nice to see you.
Like very, very Viking. Like,
Good.
Johan. Yeah. Johan, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Holy Oath, Unbowed, and Soul. I can't pronounce that.
Soul Anahata. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, Soul Anahata. There you go. Best of luck to you, man. I look forward to watching you guys grow, watching the future and seeing what you guys do. And I definitely look forward to doing more stuff with you and hanging out with you.
Sure.
And if we're ever up in your neck of the woods, or if you're vice versa, if you're ever down in our neck of the woods, let's hook up and let's hang out, man.
Let's do it. All right. Cheers, buddy.
Hey, cheers to you. Much love, brother.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let you drop down. I'm going to do my spiel, and I'm going to get the hell out of here. Man, y'all asked me why I love doing this show, and this is why. I'm such a music nerd. I love hanging out with these musicians. I love having these conversations, and I love meeting these guys, man. Make sure you guys are checking out Holy Oath, Unbowed, and Soul Anahata. Yeah. Keep up with Johan. Keep up with him. He's doing a lot of crazy stuff, man. He's doing all kinds of great stuff, great music videos. And thank you guys for listening, man. Truly, thank you guys for listening. I'm going to do a little video, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Thank you guys for an awesome year. Everybody who's listened, everybody who's watched, all the amazing artists who've been up here and hung out with me. I had a vision for Glick's House of Music, and it's definitely far exceeded what I thought it would be. And it's going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to do what we do, and we're going to continue to have fun here. But thank you guys, and a huge shout out and a huge thank you to all of my former guests and all of my future guests. This is awesome. At the end of the day, make sure you guys are following the Nonsensical Network. We are everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Shows are live Monday through Sunday on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And you can listen anytime, any place, wherever you listen to podcasts all at the Nonsensical Network. Or go to bio.link/Nonsensical Network. All them links are there, including the link to our merch store. Get you some swag. Get you some swag. Send us a picture. Send us a selfie. We'll throw it up on the social medias and shout you out with it, as long as you're okay with it. Man, I mentioned the shows. We do have a lot of fun shows here. Mondays we kick off 6 p.m. hosted by my boy Wally. Speedway stories and cold-blooded conversations, anything and everything motorsports, and reptiles. Who would have thought motorsports and reptiles would work? Not me, but Wally makes them work at the end of the day. He does make it work, and it's a cool show. And go show him some love and support him. He's brand new to the podcasting game, so he's still learning the ropes and getting his confidence. And go show him some love. Right after Speedway Stories and Cold-Blooded Conversations on Monday, 7 p.m., is Men Caring for Men. It is a men's mental health podcast hosted by Connor. This week, next week might be a little different, a little surprise for you. But it's all about men's mental health. And when they're live, it's an open panel. It's an open forum. The link is always in the chat for all men who want to come up and have a conversation. Maybe you want to take part in the conversation they're having. You want to add your 2 cents. Maybe you're going through some shit and you just got to get some shit off your chest. Come on up. You are welcomed. Tuesdays typically is Glick's House of Music. I'm hanging out with up-and-coming local artists. I'm working on building that lineup up after the holidays. I will tell you guys, there will be no show next Tuesday or the following Tuesday. The next two Tuesdays, there will not be a live Glick's House of Music. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but there's a good chance and a slight potential that somebody might be house sitting Glick's House of Music. I'm just saying. We'll figure that out. But Wednesdays is What the Fuck News. If it's in the news and it makes us say what the fuck, it's probably going to make you say what the fuck. So we're going to talk about it. And don't forget, we always have the penis report on Wednesdays. I don't know why it's a thing, but it's a thing. Thursday nights is Jeff's Garage. If it fits in the garage, they're going to talk about it. Fridays is Nonsense and Chill. My boy Blaze and Jeff watching movies, hanging out, and conversating. We're making a little movie club, man. You guys can watch the movies with them. Saturday nights is the main event here on the network. It is the end all be all, the coup de grace, if you will. Unhinged, unapologetic. We do what we want and we say what we want and we have a good fucking time. And then we got the Open Door Challenge. Basically what the Open Door Challenge is, we put that link in the chat and we dare you guys to accept the challenge if you're brave enough. You click that link, you come on and you hang out with us and you have a good time. And then we wrap the week up with a little unnecessary roughness. It's your kickoff to the NFL. We're talking all things football, college football, NFL. We're making our picks. We're making our predictions. And we're talking shit. And that's me, Derek Wayne Douglas, former guest on this show, and my boy Big Rick. What more could you ask for? Got a lot of things going on. A lot of fun being had. A lot of changes coming in the new year. Buckle up. It's going to be fun. It's going to be one hell of a ride. And again, I said it already, and I'm going to say it Saturday, and I'm going to say it. Yeah, Saturday's the last. Well, I got one. No. Yeah, I got like one or two shows. But thank you guys so much for supporting us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to all the musicians who take a risk and come on here and hang out with me. It's been another wild year, y'all. And we're going to keep on doing what we do. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you like us. Make sure you share us. And remember, be good. But be good at it, baby. See you next time on Glick's House of Music.
Nonsensical network, different flavor every day. Movie talks, new flicks hitting the display. Microphone magic, musicians spill the praise. From reptiles to motorsports, burning rubber craze. Football crashes, touchdowns, epic plays. News spinning, catching on the latest phase. Gleaming cars, engines roaring up the pace. Street tales, urban stories we embrace. Tune in, every week diverse. Groove to the beats, let the rhythm immerse. Lyrics flowing, ciphers full of verse. Nonsensical network, feel the universe. Interviews buzzing, stars in the circuit. Worlds of tapestry, pieces we interpret. Hip-hop to rap, the flow never stagnant. Reptilian tales, nature's arrangement. Cars with muscle, engines with might. Motorsports roaring, speed in the night. Discussions heated, always a delight. Network of nonsense, but the vibe's just right. Tune in, wait for that beat. Flow so seamless, feeling so sweet. Urban grooves, rhythm from the street. Nonsensical network, always on repeat.